Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss alcoholic liver disease and myself Dinesh Dangar. See, while coming to the alcoholic liver disease, see, it could be the result of overconsumption of alcohol. Due to that overconsumption of alcohol, it can damage the liver and it leads to build up certain fats with those fatty acids and may produces inflammation and further scarring of the liver. See, alcoholic liver disease, it generally encompasses the liver manifestations where it may include certain conditions like fatty liver, alcoholic hepatitis and the chronic hepatitis with liver fibrosis or cirrhosis. So we will understand this. What exactly is fatty liver? What is hepatitis? Again in that chronic hepatitis, and if you want to go through the hepatitis, you can see my previous videos where I have described all the details about hepatitis A, B, C, D and E, that is the types of hepatitis. Here we will discuss about the chronic hepatitis in relation with alcoholic liver disease with liver fibrosis and the cirrhosis. See, it is well known that alcoholic liver disease may be the most oldest form of liver injury that is still known to the human mankind. So we can say that it is the major problem and it is seen since last so many decades ever from the starting of the human mankind. Many people with alcoholic liver diseases experience no symptoms in early stages, but it may produce after some duration or after the chronic administration of alcohol. See, in alcoholic liver disease, our main focus will be on the heavy alcohol consumption for longer duration, right? This specific longer duration may involve the steatosis, that is the fatty liver, right? And this process could be transient and the reversible. So it is again reversible. But out of these heavy drinkers, only we can say 15 to 20% may develop hepatitis or the cirrhosis. In this case, first thing that who are more prone to develop it or who is at risk. So while considering risk, we can divide it into 5 different categories. First, that is the amount or quantity of alcohol consumption. In this case, this data is given on an average basis where it is mentioned that if for male he used to consume 60 to 80 gram, that is almost 75 to 100 milligram per day alcohol for more than 20 years, or in cases of female that is generally 20 gram per day, or we can say that in male we can consider 25 ml per day for 20 years can causes or it can increases the risk to develop hepatitis and the fibrosis. See, in this case alcohol can increases its chances of occurrence in forms of hepatitis or fibrosis generally by 7 to 47 percentage. So we can consider alcohol as a cause. Pattern of drinking. In cases many persons they used to have alcohol with food or with meal. In that cases their effects can be reduced or their what we can say that normal metabolism, their capacity to absorb from gastrointestinal may interfere with the presence of food. But in cases person without meal, if he or she used to have alcohol, in that case is their tendency to develop alcoholic liver disease rises thrice. While considering gender, we can say that women are more prone to develop it, right? Even for shorter duration of alcohol consumption can cause liver fibrosis or the hepatitis. Next parameter, that is hepatitis C infection, because a concomitant hepatitis C infection significantly accelerates the process of liver injury. Genetic factors, where it includes predisposition of both for alcoholism as well as to alcoholic liver disease, and in many cases might be because of polymorphisms in enzyme can cause alcoholic liver disease. સો આ બધા રીઝન્સ છે કે જેમના કારણે આલ્કોહોલિક લીવર ડિસીઝ થવાના ચાન્સીસ વધતા હોય છે. વેર we can consider quantity of alcohol, pattern of drinking, next is the gender, hepatitis C infection, and the genetic factors. While considering the metabolism of alcohol, how exactly alcohol will get metabolized inside the body? As we know that alcohol, in this case again it is our range in which alcohol that can be consumed or which comes under food category, that is ethanol, not methanol, it's ethanol. In many cases you have heard about that Latha Kand or the methanol poisoning, that is because of methanol. So here in cases of alcohol consumption, and again whenever the word comes that is alcohol, in this session we will consider it as an ethanol, not methanol. So here ethanol, once it is administered, then it may undergo oxidation with the help of alcohol dehydrogenase with cytochrome P2E1, a kind of an enzyme, and another enzyme, that is catalase. While considering this oxidation, this process will be performed in liver. As we know that liver has got major function, that is metabolism. So here in liver, ethanol will get transferred or ethanol will get converted into the acetaldehyde. Now that acetaldehyde will get converted into the acetic acid with the help of acetaldehyde dehydrogenase. Now that acetic acid will get converted into the acetyl coenzyme A, that is acetyl CoA, with the help of acetyl coenzyme A synthetase. Now acetyl coenzyme A enters into the citric acid cycle. So this specific last portion, acetyl coenzyme A, their role in the maintenance of citric acid cycle, that comes under biochemistry, and you most probably have biochemistry in during the fourth semester. So here this citric acid cycle will have a role in production of carbon dioxide as well as to form ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, or form of energy. See, while considering this entire metabolism, one should have a idea that, or as a being a pharmacist, or in many cases we should be aware about that the medications which are used to stop alcohol, where exactly it works. In this case we will have drugs like disulfiram. See, this disulfiram generally inhibits the conversion of acetaldehyde to acetic acid, because this disulfiram acts on or it inhibits acetaldehyde dehydrogenase, right? So this is about metabolism of alcohol. Generally more than 80% of alcohol passes through the liver for their detoxification point of view, and the chronic consumption of alcohol generally results into the secretion of many kind of inflammatory mediators or the cytokines like TNF alpha, interleukin 6, interleukin 8, with producing oxidative stress, lipid peroxidation, and acetaldehyde toxicity. As we know that ethanol that will get converted into the acetaldehyde, and that formed acetaldehyde can causes toxicity. While considering the effects of alcohol, as we know that alcohol will get converted into the acetaldehyde. While going through this process with the help of alcohol dehydrogenase, it may produces many reactive oxygen species, that is ROS. It won't produce only reactive oxygen species, even it produces the species or the free radicals of hydroxin hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2, hydroxyl radicals, that is OH, and the superoxide anions, that is O2 minus. See here in this case, these reactive oxygen species are the stimulator, or it acts on the ongoing processes of protein synthesis, leading or causing damage to the even at the molecular level while DNA. So these free radicals have a capacity to damage any part of cell or especially nucleus. While looking at the symptoms of the alcoholic liver disease, see, once alcoholic liver disease progresses, its symptoms become easier to recognize, and those symptoms vary on the basis of the how bad the disease is. And in early stages, patient may not have such kinds of symptoms. It generally seen after or worse after a period of heavy drinking. See, it includes, while considering the digestive system, it includes pain and swelling in the abdomen, decreased appetite causing weight loss, nausea and vomiting, fatigue, dry mouth and the increased thirst, bleeding from the enlarged veins in the walls of the lower part of the esophagus, and we will try to understand that how exactly those enlarged veins are formed. That comes under varices. Next is certain skin problems can be seen, like yellow color in the skin due to the jaundice. Even the jaundice or the yellow coloration or yellowing matter can be seen within the mucous membrane as well as in eyes. And then small red spider like veins on the skin can be seen, and skin can be very dark or pale, and redness of the feet or hands can be visualized. Next is itching, that might be because of the that yellowing matter, that is the bilirubin in deposition of deposition inside the skin. There are certain functions that includes even the brain and the nervous system under the influences of alcohol. In that case, problems may be persisting with thinking or memory, and mood swing can be seen. Here, the fainting and lightheadedness can be felt with overconsumption of alcohol, and numbness in legs and feet can be observed. Okay. Here in this case, while considering their effects on liver, how exactly it produces the effect. In this case, we can here differentiate it out the conditions of liver at very different time intervals. You can see here healthy liver, due to the alcohol consumption, it may causes to form fatty liver. In the cases of fatty liver, there will be a deposition of fats in liver causing enlargement of it. Further, it progresses to liver fibrosis, where those scar tissues will be formed and the entire non-functional mass of the liver or the parenchymatous cells or the hepatocyte cells can be seen. Next is ultimately causing liver cirrhosis, that is the extensive damage to the cells of liver, and we can say that in this case is most probably liver may not be working or its efficiency may be reduced up to 50%. While considering the pathophysiology, where it includes the initial parameter can be chronic ethanol intake, which causes to convert it into the acetaldehyde, and that acetalhydrates increases the production of NADH. See, this NADH is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogen. Remember, it increases NADH production, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogen, and it is involved in generation of energy, which causes increase in lipogenesis. So it forms lipid and it decreases fatty acid oxidation. So due to the NADH production, it may produces the fatty liver. In the cases of fatty liver, we can say that in cases of large volume of alcohol, it can causes fatty acids to collect in liver, and even it may happen that in many cases of heavy drinking over a short period of time, even less than a week, it can be seen within liver. While considering NH production, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogen, it increases the oxidative stress, which causes injury to hepatocytes. Next is we can consider lipid peroxidation, where it is increased in cases of chronic ethanol intake, which further causes hepatocyte injury. Other than this, we can consider those certain endotoxins that may be released from the gut or the gastrointestinal tract or in the specific liver cells, that is the Kupffer cells, where inflammation can be seen, and those inflammation may really generate more and more those inflammatory cytokines like TNF alpha, interleukin 6, interleukin 8, causing sinusoidal cell or causing hepatocytes to inflame, and this inflammatory cell can causes liver cirrhosis. Okay, so in this case of pathophysiology, first important parameter, that is alcoholic fatty liver disease or the fatty changes, where it or we can call this fatty change as steatosis. Remember, while considering this steatosis, actually it is a condition where in liver there will be an accumulation of fatty acids, and this fatty acids forms larger fatty globules throughout the liver, and it starts within the few days of alcohol heavy consumption, and this alcohol is metabolized by alcohol dehydrogenase into the acetaldehyde, and further it will get converted into the acetic acid, resulting in formation of carbon dioxide and the water. Important parameter here in fatty chain, that is the NADH concentration. As soon as that nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogen concentration increases, it induces the fatty acid synthesis, which forms fatty changes or the steatosis. While if the concentration of NADH level decreases, it can causes the oxidation of those fatty acids, and ultimately there will be an accumulation of those triglycerides resulting in fatty liver. The symptoms for alcohol fatty liver. In this case, weakness can be felt, nausea, abdominal pain, loss of appetite, and the malaise. In this case of malaise, it is generally feeling of unwell throughout the period of alcoholic liver disease. Second condition, that is alcoholic hepatitis. See, it ultimately involves the hepatitis. So, one thing is common, that is the inflammation of liver. While considering inflammation of liver, it points out the inflammation of hepatocytes. And generally, 10 to 35% of heavy drinkers will develop alcoholic hepatitis. Yes, one thing that we need to note down here, that in cases of alcoholic hepatitis, the amount or the concentration of alcohol may not be the primary cause for development of it, because in cases of alcoholic hepatitis, one thing, it is because of hepatitis or due to the virus, where it involves certain inflammatory cytokines like TNF alpha, interleukin 6 and interleukin 8, so which further causes the cell death by this specific two pathways, which includes the apoptosis and the necrosis. And we have already studied during first chapter what is apoptosis and the necrosis, a kinds of programmed cell death. And the different symptoms can be seen like tenderness in the abdomen, jaundice, spider-like veins, and the malaise, fever, nausea, and the loss of urine can be seen. In end stage, there will be a hair loss, dark urine can be formed, black or pale stools can be seen, dizziness, fatigue, loss of the libido. Next is the bleeding gums or the nose, edema, vomiting, muscle cramps, and the white loss can be seen as a part of alcoholic hepatitis. Third condition into it, that is the cirrhosis or the liver cirrhosis. It is an end stage inflammation where the liver has been inflamed for a longer time, leading to scarring and the loss of function. See, while considering the inflammation, that is the swelling or the swelling of the liver and the fibrosis. In cases of fibrosis, there will be a cellular hardening, or the entire area may undergo hardening, causing damage to those specific membranes which are present inside it, and now it may not have that specific potential, that is detoxification of chemicals in body, which further causes the scarring and the necrosis, that is the programmed cell death. And generally, while considering the liver cirrhosis, 10 to 20% of the persons with alcoholic liver disease may develop it. Here, acetaldehyde may be responsible for alcohol-induced fibrosis by stimulating the collagen deposition by the hepatic stellate cells. Here, the symptoms may include the jaundice, the hepatomegaly, that is the hepatomegaly. While considering the hepatomegaly, we can say that increase in size of liver. Next is the pain and the tenderness from the structural changes in damaged liver architecture can be seen. While considering the diagnosis for the entire alcoholic liver disease, where it may include alcoholic fatty liver disease, alcoholic hepatitis, fibrosis, and the cirrhosis. For that, liver function test can be performed, and these are very simple and inexpensive techniques where it involves the test for SGPT, SGOT, ALP, ALT, right? Next is the serum albumin level, prothrombin time can be measured, but one thing is sure, on only basis of these enzymes we cannot confirm the status of the patient. Here, the bilirubin even acts as a marker for whole liver function. And the one more, the major important factor here is that is transaminase, the level of transaminase, because it indicates the extent of injury caused to hepatocellular cells, that is hepatocytes, and the ultimate death of it. Here, even the alkaline phosphatase levels estimate the impedance flow of bile. Next, certain imaging tests even can be done like ultrasound, sonography, that is the scan, next is CT scan, MRI, so that the ultimate images of liver can be revealed. But it may not confirm the presence of alcohol liver disease. Liver biopsy even useful tool in cases of diagnosis while considering the cirrhosis and the fibrosis. Here, a specific fine needle will be inserted inside the body and the sample will be taken from the person who is under light anesthesia or the local anesthesia, and further this specific species of tissues will get observed in or on microscope. Here, biopsy may indicate any patients with serum aminotransferase elevation and with the elevation of these kinds of enzyme for more than 6 months, and after that also he or she may not be having symptom of alcoholic liver disease. In this case, biopsy will be performed. In many cases where person have already evidence of liver failure in addition to elevated aminotransferases, if a coagulopathy is present. See here, coagulopathy is a kind of blood disease or blood related disorder, which it includes the coagulation time may get impaired, causing more and more or increased bleeding. Next is in cases of patients in whom the diagnosis of alcoholic hepatitis is again uncertain based upon the clinical and laboratory finding. In these cases, biopsy can be utilized. And the persons who may have more than one type of liver disease such as alcohol and the hepatitis C. In that case, biopsy can be performed or it may have a special advantage. Endoscopy even can be performed where an endoscope will be what is endoscope, that is the thin long flexible tube with a light and the camera on it, and it will be passed into the esophagus and stomach for further examination for varices. Okay, what are the complications can be observed with alcoholic liver disease? See here, the major complication that is felt with alcoholic liver disease, that is portal hypertension. See here, if liver may undergo scarring or it may become too harder in cases of generally liver fibrosis, blood cannot passes through the liver. In these specific cases, blood may find its own route or own way to pass, and that specific temporary pathway may not have a capacity to resist the specific blood pressure, where in many cases this kinds of arrangement that is known as again varices, these tubes, right, or this specific arrangement where blood cannot passes through the liver, blood itself forms certain ways from where blood passes, but it cannot resist the blood pressure, and it is known as portal hypertension. And the condition or such kinds of newly formed blood vessels are known as varices. And see, this varices, if it is bleeding, then only it can be known that, or it can be felt that yes, with the help of or due to the varices it may form anemia, and that varices can be seen with ultrasonography or the in cases of CT scan. While considering the symptoms of the portal hypertension, it may forms ascites. In cases of acids or the acids, there will be a gathering of fluid in abdominal cavity. Next is hepatic encephalopathy, causing the enlargement of liver or the size may be increased of liver. Next is the pancytopenia. In these cases of pancytopenia, all those blood cells, that is RBC, WBC and the platelet count may be reduced or the number may be reduced. Splenomegaly, where it includes the expansion of spleen. Next is the bloody vomiting and the melena. Melena is a black tarry stool. Next is certain symptoms of varices. If it is bleeding, in that case it forms black tarry stool with the blood and the lightheadedness and the paleness with vomiting. While considering the complications, it does not include only the portal hypertension and the varices. Even it includes the ascites. Next is the hepatic encephalopathy, infection, because in cases of infection, damage to the liver can weaken the immune system, and this can further make the body more vulnerable to infection, particularly in cases of urinary and the respiratory infections. And the last complication, that is liver cancer. Actually, I have not mentioned here this liver cancer, infection and the ascites or the hepatic encephalopathy. Here, in this case, the nutritional diet even involved in alcoholic liver disease, where person may have a malnutrition. If he or she used to have a food, but it may be deficient with vitamins and the components which can be nutritionally beneficial. And last, the drug therapy. See, while considering the drug, nowadays there are so many drugs are available or within the market which can reverse the condition in cases of liver cirrhosis or the liver fibrosis or hepatitis. In this case, prednisolone can be used in alcoholic hepatitis. If person is suffering from malnutrition, in that case folic acid can be provided, thiamine, vitamin D in forms of argocalciferol can be provided, vitamin E will be provided, vitamin A can be provided to overcome the nutritional deficiency with alcoholic liver disease. Other than this, the excellent drug which is available within the market, that is the silymarin, because the silymarin has got the antioxidative and the antifibrotic properties. While considering the antioxidative properties, it neutralizes those released free radicals of oxygen, next is hydrogen peroxide and the hydroxyl radicals. It is believed to enhance the liver regeneration and protects the hepatocytes from the toxicity due to the released acetaldehyde. And for that, the recommended dose is 140 milligram 2 to 3 times per day is recommended. And the last option, that is the liver transplantation, and this is the only definitive therapy in cases of liver cirrhosis. But the major drawback with it, that is the absolute contraindication to liver transplantation. In many patients it is felt that even contraindications can be seen with the liver transplantation, and that it even may involve the allograft rejection in cases of liver transplantation. So this is all about the alcoholic liver disease. So we have started with its introduction. Next we have gone through the symptoms, signs and symptoms. Next we have discussed about the pathogenesis of it, where remember these 4 specific conditions, that is alcoholic fatty liver disease, alcoholic hepatitis, the fibrosis and the cirrhosis. And at last, the contraindications and the medications available in treatment of or for treatment of alcoholic liver disease. Thank you very much.